Hi, welcome to Nicci's vlog. Today I'd like to talk about linguistics. Now, as some of you know, for the last 20 years I've coached presentations as a boy. I've coached probably 400 massive sales opportunities for clients, and during that what I deliver is the value proposition. This is the elevator pitch. And during those 400 times I've done that, I almost never, like I can count on one hand the number of times the audience for that, the people I'm coaching, will push back and go, oh, I don't think that's right, and we need to change it. It rarely happens. Generally speaking, when I say this is what you should present and this is how you should present it, as a boy, they say yes. I've now done 10 as a girl. And in all 10, there's been some pushback and some debate about the value proposition. And in some of those 10, we've even changed the value proposition based on that debate. Now, on the face of it, that feels like it might be a bad thing. But actually, my conversion rates as a girl are higher. So when I coach as a boy, we get 76%, but so far, we've got 10 out of 10 wins when I've coached as a girl. That won't stay, but it does seem to suggest that the difference of behaviour dressing as a girl has forced me to make has made me a better coach because we're getting better results. And the reason, I think, isn't because I dress like a female. I think it's because in order to create the illusion, I am behaving like a female. Now, you may remember from one of my other vlogs, these two pictures, where we talked about the difference in female and management styles. How, as a female, we are generally socialized to collaborate and care, and as a male, we are socialized from a very early age to compete and combat. So we put a gun in the hand of the boy and say, go play cops and robbers, and we put a doll in the hand of a girl and say, go play house. And what that does is create, and you can see it in kids, create a different type of play and a different type of socialization where, generally speaking, men are really good at competing and women are really good at collaborating. And my assertion is that's a problem in business, and that 30 years ago we probably needed people who were really good at competing, but now we need a different skill set. We don't need to compete with our competitors anymore. We need to collaborate. We need to collaborate and help our competitors build the market for us, not necessarily go out there, dog eat dog, beat them. And that whilst we've got a board that's got more of these types of people, regardless of their sex, on them, we've got boards that are generally inefficient and ineffective. And the same goes for looking internally at employees, that if you see the employees that work for you as competition, what happens is you keep people down, you keep people in the place, and you don't bring the talent through. But if you see your employees in your organization as being the people that will help you be competitive in the future, you get better at collaboration and better at nurturing. And this is the skill set that's missing in our boardrooms, not this one. It isn't always found in girls and boys, but it is the skill that's missing. Okay, so what have I found now that I present as female? Well, one of the things I've found is that in order to create the illusion, not only am I adopting the clothes and the mannerisms of girls, but I'm also adopting the speech patterns. And one of the things we teach presenters is that when you stand in front of a client to make a presentation, it shouldn't be, we have this, or we will do this to you. It should be, this is what you need. And that linguistic shift from using the word you instead of using the word we fundamentally shifts the perspective of the presentation, makes it more effective. So I listen very carefully when I'm coaching to the linguistics and the language that people make, because that's my job. I have to get the linguistics right in order to make the presentation seem right. And one of the things I've noticed is that when men express an opinion in a group, they often use the phrase, you need. You need to do this. We need to do this, this, and this. This presentation isn't right, this plan isn't right, the strategy isn't right, we need to do this to make it right. Is a very male presentation of information. Typically, the same piece of information, when it's delivered by a female, is often couched very differently, because in a much more collaborative way, they'll often start their sentences with, "Oh, I'm sorry about this, but what do you think about?" And they're making a suggestion linguistically rather than issuing an opinion the way men do. And because I've tried to mimic everything female in order to improve my management style, this is the way often I will deliver information. And people's response to this is very different to people's response to this. Now, it may well be that they are, because clearly when we're talking, there's no doubt that I'm not a female. It may well simply be that they're looking at the trans person and trans woman or trans man, whichever way they happen to view me. Very interesting. Where I let them choose their own pronouns. They can call me Nick or Nicci. They can use him or her, and their choice says an awful lot about them. Tells me some very useful information when I'm coaching. What's really interesting is the way they respond to me might not be because I'm, female rather than male. It may well just be that I've decided to step off the pedestal that is straight, white, alpha male privilege and stepped down a rung in their estimation. And therefore, my opinion is worth less. Because clearly, women's opinions are worth less than males in that psyche. But I think it's subtler than that. I don't think people actually sit there and go, "Oh no, that opinion is coming from a boy, therefore it's worth more than the opinion coming from a girl." I think we present the opinion linguistically differently, and therefore we get a different linguistic response. Well, that's what I think. I'd like to know, what do you think? You can find me at www.niccitake.com. You can find me on Facebook at Nicci Take, #NicciTake/Nicci Take. In fact, web search Nicci Take and you'll find me. Either way, thanks for watching. Bye.